What's going on YouTube? It's the Bearded One. Um, been a long time. Been over a year since I made my last video. I believe it was a gluten-free buckwheat beer. Um, a lot has happened in my life since I made that last video. I have since sold my last house. I am in between residencies right now. I have finally finished all of that school. I know I have probably mentioned from time to time in my videos. Um, I am currently waiting on the building of my new house to be done, and I will have a dedicated location. It won't be just for beer, obviously, but it'll be a dedicated location, a man cave, if you will, to do more things like these videos. Um, so I'm really looking forward to that. School's over with. I hate to be repeating myself if I am, because the supply, unfortunately, this is due to supply issues. Um, Demand is still high at work, so I know the OT I have mentioned in previous videos is still there. But overall, my life is a lot more easy, a lot more laid back. I have a lot more free time. Um, don't know if I'm going to be doing a lot more videos in the immediate future, but you could almost guarantee by the end of the year, barring some change of job due to my graduation, my recent graduation and job hunt. If I get some crazy schedule that won't allow me to make videos, that'll be different. But I'll try to make more videos, and you could almost guarantee again by the end of the year, hopefully, I will be making at least one video a month. I've been out of the hobby. I haven't done a whole lot. I've been trying to lose weight, get a little healthier. I don't know if you can tell that on camera, especially since my last video to compare my weight to. I'm not even sure how much I weighed in that video, but I would say over the last year and a half, I've probably drank 30 beers in the last year and a half. And this will be the first actual video since the last video I made where I actually tried to sit down and break down a beer. So I'm going to be rusty. My palate's not going to be all the way there, but that'll be okay. I did, over the holiday break, get a Christmas pack from the only American Trappist brewery, Spencer. Unfortunately, for you guys, I drank all that beer and did not record my opinion on the beer, my critique, but I do have the glass. Maybe sometime in the future I will revisit Spencer beer. I did thoroughly enjoy all their offerings in their Christmas pack. But today we got a big, bold IPA. Big Little Thing IPA, Imperial IPA from Sierra Nevada at 9% alcohol, ABV. I'm so rusty on everything. I don't even remember what ABV means. It's a 19.2 fluid ounce can. Let's just crack this thing open. I'm going to go off the dome here. No remembering notes. I haven't read a scientific beer book in over a year and a half. I've just been so out of the hobby, and but that doesn't mean I can't come back to the hobby. And it doesn't really mean I ever left. I'm getting a lot better at my pouring. That's one thing I have tried to get a lot better at, is my pouring. You see here, probably got about 2-finger head here. More of an ivory white. I wouldn't say pearl white. Like a real bright paper white. real thick, creamy, frothy. The word frothy comes to mind when I'm looking at the foam. It's got a West Coast lager appearance. Let me put the can up here, like old times here. It has some clarity through it. I can see things through the beer. I would say it has a copper, little darker than what am I trying to say here? It's a little I just brain farted. It's a little darker than, say, amber. Amber's a little more on the yellow side. This is more of a copper. I believe the camera is showing the true color of this beer. I would say kind of a bronze copper color. Just a touch of bubbles on the side, and I'm trying to get better at my beer server knowledge. And if you have any bubbles on the side of the glass, that means that your glass isn't clean according to BJCP standards. Your glass may be clean, fresh out of the dishwasher, but you need to use a specific soap. You need to use cold water, and you need to hand wash it if you're going to clean your glass according to BJCP standards. But you don't have to. If you're like me and you're just doing this for fun, you're not a beer judge, you're not serving beer professionally, using dish soap in the dishwasher is plenty fine if you're not about all of that fancy stuff. Let's get into the aroma here. The aroma is something I'm kind of worried about. I'm worried about my nose failing me in my absence from critiquing beer. So surprisingly, I get fruits on here. This beer is a little old, so it's not completely fresh. Let's see if there's any notes. Nope, no notes on here. So we're going blind. You'll just have to Google this beer and check the notes for yourself. So there's a little bit of a hop. I would say it's more on the side of lemongrass. It's not a real sharp pine, and it doesn't really smell earthy either. It's a real fragrant hop smell, and because of the age, it's a little subdued and old, but it does pleasantly blend together with the fruit. I'm going to say either a floral or lemongrassy type hop aroma. Nothing too sharp or bright. Probably the hops have oxidized a little bit. Mild citrus there. So I'm getting lemon, not any grapefruit. Yeah, it just, due to this being an IPA and the age, I'm really having to sniff at it, and I think I'm just going to leave it to that lemongrassy, maybe floral, fragrant hop aroma mixed in with some lemon, maybe some light orange. Maybe if I really dig deep, I could convince myself I'm smelling grapefruit, but I really don't think I'm smelling grapefruit. Pleasant aroma, pineapple. That is something I'm smelling. Yeah, I'm getting pineapple in this. I really like the hop varieties they use in it. Sierra Nevada, um, in their hop heavy beers, really, some of their beers are really fragrant with their hops, and I really like Sierra Nevada for that. They really care about aromatics. Anyways, let's get into the best part of a beer review. So I've forgotten my beer lingo. I need to remember this stuff again. So I'm probably not going to sound as intelligent. I'm rusty, guys. Please forgive me. Um, one more time. Okay, so it's kind of flat, and if you're new to this channel or newer to me, when I say a beer's flat, I don't necessarily mean it. You shouldn't think of a flat soda or a flat Coke. When I say a beer's flat, I simply mean it is nearly devoid of carbonation. There is that carbonation is barely there, which is it is an ale, and ales tend to be flatter. Um, it's got a semi-drying finish there. Um, for 9%, this thing drinks a little smaller. I'm not going to try to guess what percentage ABV it is drinking like. I would err on the side of caution with this beer. If you got a 6-pack or a 12-pack, I don't know what all these come in, or you got 4 of these 9%ers. This would be an all-night sipper. I wouldn't. This wouldn't be like a smashing cans at the ball game type of beer. If you wanted to be more responsible. Now, if you wanted to crank the party to 11, who am I to judge? I think anybody watching this channel has cranked the party up to 11 at least once in their life, and you know, sometimes we just need to have a little fun in our lives. But yeah, I would highly recommend, if you're going to err on the responsible side, this would be an after meal sipper, depending on your meal, or just what I'm doing. Maybe right before bed, pop your can, sip on it, enjoy it, that kind of thing. Because again, they mask the alcohol pretty well. About the malt here. I'm going to say say a mild. I don't want to say weak. Definitely not bold and robust. But there's a mild, enjoyable, complimentary caramel thing here. With the malt. Just trying to taste the malt here. Yeah, it's I feel like I get a little bit of caramel, but it's not big and robust. I don't feel like they, based on the SRM here, the color of the beer, they did roast the malt a little bit, but they didn't go overboard. And I think everything aged well. As far as the malts complementing the hops. And of course, you want to know about the hops. This is an IPA. Um, it's an older beer, and surprisingly, with this being a 9% IPA, I find myself getting the malt on the front end. Yeah, a lot of times when I'm drinking IPAs, the hops usually smash you in the mouth, um, right there up front, and they're bright. And again, I think I'm placing a lot of the hop subtlety on the age of this thing. It was canned on November 4th last year. Still in the good. It's almost 4 months old now, so we're still in the sweet spot. However, most of the hop flavor comes from me in the middle of the sip. And it's just a nice, it's a very pleasant lemongrass. It doesn't taste floral on the tongue, so I was having a hard time deciding if it was floral. I don't think there's any floral elements there. I think it's more of a not earthy, but like a grassy. Yeah, it's just like a nice complement to the fruits that come out of it, the citrus that comes out of the hops, that lemon there, pineapple, maybe a touch of orange. Could be my brain messing with me on the orange. But then that lemongrassy again. It just all balances perfectly well with a subtle undercurrent of caramel. I would usually be worried that an older IPA or an older beer in general would become what I call a flavor soup, where everything is just mushed together and nothing stands out. It's just too much of everything and not enough of something. But everything held together, at least in this 4 month range. I do get a little bit of alcohol if I search for it. You can tell you're not drinking a 4% macro lager for sure. But I'm sure there's other 9% beers out there that taste a lot heavier in alcohol content than this one. So I think this beer would be a lot better, fresher, as most, if not all, IPAs are served best fresh. This was an interesting little IPA for me. I was expecting more of a piney, resiny, deep hopped West Coast IPA when I saw what it looked like in the glass. However, it turned out to be a little more dynamic than that, a little more, I don't want to say rich because it's not a fresh beer. But it's definitely dynamic. There's definitely more than just one or two flavors there. It's not a one note wonder like the Stone IPA, which is one of the classic West Coast IPAs. This beer is not fresh, and I usually don't recommend IPAs to beginners. However, if you, I will say, if you're a fan of West Coast IPAs, give this a shot. If you're new to IPA, and you're just curious about West Coast IPA, I think this could be a really solid introduction to IPA, although this could ruin you on IPA because this beer tastes a little more complex than a West Coast IPA. But either way, if you enjoy hops, I don't think you're doing bad to at least experiment with this beer. IPAs are not for the weak, so keep that in mind if you're newer to craft beer. I got some lacing here, so lacing is another sign of how you're keeping your glasses clean. It's also it has something to do with the quality of the head, and that can kind of tell you the quality of the beer you're drinking. But not every great quality beer laces either. So I used to grade these things, and I guess I'll go ahead and grade it. I'll give this thing, I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. It's a pleasant sipper. I appreciate the 9%, especially here. I'm probably not off within the next hour or two, and that 9% is going to feel real good, snuggled up in bed. I appreciate the fact that this is a dynamic, I'm just going to say West Coast lager. It's probably not a West Coast lager, but it is a dynamic West Coast lager, and I appreciate that. But the hops are not as fresh as I would prefer them, and IPA is probably my most reviewed beer on this channel, but IPA is not even close to being my favorite beer. So it's going to be hard for me to ever give a IPA a 5 out of 5. That'll do me, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Again, sometime this summer I will be in my new house. After, I hope this summer it'll be completely built, and then this fall, this winter, let's just say let's just start at one video a month. I think I can handle one video a month, and it not set my health goals off track. Not saying anything bad about the beer community. I love beer. I love alcohol. I just right now for the goals I have in my life, just not something I want to do a whole terribly amount, a lot of. If you made it to 24 minutes, this video is actually shorter than I thought it would be. God bless you. Until next time, guys. Cheers.